Banks are the most heavily subsidised businesses in the world, specially protected by governments. While the money runs out for the rest of us, the largest private banks still thrive. This is because they get the biggest subsidy of them all.
The license to print money.
Hard to believe? Martin Wolf, the chief economics editor at the Financial Times, said it recently. The essence of the contemporary monetary system is the creation of money out of nothing by private banks, often foolish lending. You heard that right. Private banks create money out of nothing. Then they loan it to us and ask for interest on top. If you've ever wondered why the bank buildings around the world soar higher than any palace or spire ever did, you now have the answer. But the banks don't simply print money using secret printing presses in their basements. They don't have to. Like so many other things these days, printing money has now gone digital. With the popular use of debit cards, electronic fund transfers and internet banking, only 3% of the money now made of paper and metal coin. The other 97% is entirely in computers. Electronic money is convenient for everyone, but it's especially convenient for the private banks, since they own, run, and control the entire digital money system. And what do they do with this special privilege? Do they channel new money, the blood supply of the nation, towards the things we need, like hospitals, schools, universities, and public transport? Not if it doesn't make a profit for them. Instead, they use their license to print money to gamble on the financial markets and push house prices out of reach of ordinary people by pumping hundreds of billions of pounds into risky mortgages. This is exactly how the banks caused the financial crisis. And now the rest of us are being asked to pay for it. If we can't afford to run hospitals and build schools, can we really afford to subsidise the financial industry? Should we have to live with less so the bankers can have more? This is ludicrous, and it's time to put a stop to it. The private banks can't be trusted to hold the reins to our entire economy. This will stop them from causing yet another financial meltdown and allow us to afford the crucial services that we as a society need.
Reformers believe that that entire money supply should be for the benefit of the public and should never be created by a private organisation as debt.
Democratising the money supply, what that means is putting the power to issue and allocate money back into the hands of people, taking it away from private organisations, institutions that don't actually represent the people, that are not democratically accountable to the people. The banks aren't democratically accountable. They're accountable to their shareholders and their shareholders only. Now, they're underwritten by us, by the taxpayer, but they're not accountable to us. That doesn't make any sense at all. So if you democratise the monetary system, you are subjecting it to the same kinds of discipline as the education system, as the health service, and other key publicly needed services. There's no reason that money should be viewed as any different. It is a fundamentally important service that everybody needs. I can't survive without enough money. Nobody can. So it cannot be controlled purely by this small elite of big banks, as it is in the you need a different system.
We believe that the activity of supplying a nation with money should be completely separate from the activity of banking.
What we need to do now is real money. You know, real, it could be electronic money, but it needs to be classified as money.
We just want banks to be like every other private organisation, private company in the economy, to be subject to market discipline.
The problem is that now we're in this hybrid model where we have no control of how they spend the money, which creates our money, but also we're reliant on them to create our money.
We're all constantly in debt. We'll be in debt pretty much for the rest of our lives. And you know, the younger generations have it even worse than the older generations.
Now, inflation can be avoided if the amount of money that goes into the economy is regulated in a way that it doesn't exceed the actual activity that's happening in the economy. Now, The best way to do that, in my opinion, is to make sure that money is issued into the economy only for productive investment, for productive goods and services. So money goes in to help a small business start up, which creates jobs, which creates additional purchasing power.
Incredible.